My child, breathe. Just for a moment. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop running the calculations in your mind, trying to make the pieces fit. I know you have been doing that. I know you have been lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, asking the same question over and over again. Why? Why did this happen? Why did it fall apart? Why did they leave? Why did that door close? Why am I still here, still waiting, still watching everyone else move forward while I feel like I am standing still? I have heard every single one of those questions. I have collected every tear you thought no one saw, the ones you wiped away quickly before walking into a room full of people, the ones that fell in the shower, hidden in the water, the ones that soaked your pillow in the middle of the night when the silence became too loud. I saw them. I kept every single one, not to count them as a record of your weakness, but as a record of your love. You stayed. Even when it hurt, you stayed. Even when you could have walked away from everything you believed about me, you stayed. That has not gone unnoticed. You feel confused right now. I know that. The confusion is heavy, isn't it? It sits on your chest like a weight you cannot shake off. You keep looking back at the path, trying to see where you took the wrong turn. You keep replaying conversations, decisions, moments, wondering if you missed something, if you misheard my voice, if you stepped out of my will. Let me stop you right there, beloved. You did not mishear me. You did not step out of line. You are not lost. This confusion you feel, it is not a sign that I have abandoned you. It is not a punishment for your failures. It is the fog before the dawn. It is the pressure before the breakthrough. And I need you to hear this deeply, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. I know it does not feel like that. I know it feels like you should be further along by now. I know you look at your life and see gaps, delays, and detours. You see the dreams that have not come to pass. You see the relationships that crumbled. You see the opportunities that slipped through your fingers. And you wonder if I have forgotten you. Let me tell you something that will shift everything. I have never once forgotten you. Not for a single second. From the very first moment I knit you together in the secret place, I knew this moment would come. I knew you would be standing here, in this exact place of uncertainty, and I prepared for it. I prepared you for it. Every trial you have faced up to this point was not random chaos. It was training. It was strengthening. It was stripping away everything that could not survive the weight of what I am about to do. You have felt delayed. I know that word stings. Delayed. You have watched others surpass you. You have watched people with less experience, less patience, less integrity rise faster. And you have been gracious on the outside, but on the inside, it has torn you apart. You have wondered, what do they have that I don't? Why are their prayers being answered while mine feel like they are hitting the ceiling and falling back down? My child, look at me. You are not delayed. You are protected. There are things coming toward you, good things, huge things, things that will take your breath away. And if I had moved you any faster, you would have arrived before you were ready to carry them. If I had opened that door when you wanted it opened, you would have walked into a battle you could not win. If I had given you that relationship when you begged for it, it would have cost you your destiny. If I had promoted you when you demanded it, the weight of it would have crushed you. I am not slow. I am careful with you. You are not a project to me. You are not one of many. You are not a name on a list. You are my beloved, and I do not throw my beloved into the deep waters without first teaching them to swim. I do not send my beloved into battle without first sharpening their sword. I do not place my beloved on a mountain without first strengthening their legs to climb. This season you have been in, this long, confusing, lonely season, it has not been wasted. Do you hear me? It has not been wasted. Every silence, every closed door, every person who walked away, every night you spent crying out to me with no answer, it all had purpose. It was all weaving together something so beautiful, so strong, so unshakable, that when you finally step into what I have prepared, you will not stumble. You will not fall. You will not be shaken by the applause or the criticism. You will stand firm because I built you in the hidden place. I know you are tired. I know the waiting has drained you. I know there have been moments when you almost gave up, when you thought, maybe I imagined God's voice. Maybe I made this all up. Maybe I should just settle for something smaller, something easier, something I can see right now. But you didn't. You are still here. You are still believing. You are still reaching for me even when you cannot feel me. That is faith, my child. Not the faith that sings loudly when everything is good, but the faith that whispers in the dark, I trust you anyway. And that faith, it moves my heart. I am not distant from you right now. I am closer than your next breath. I am in the room with you as you read these words. I am weaving my peace into your spirit. I am untangling the knots of confusion in your mind. I am restoring the hope that the enemy tried to steal. You are going to make it through this. Not just survive, thrive. You are going to look back on this season and see it differently. You are going to call it the foundation, not the delay. You are going to thank me for every closed door, every painful goodbye, every unanswered prayer. But for now, just rest in this one truth. I am with you. I have not left you. I will not leave you. And everything that does not make sense right now, it will. Soon. So take a deep breath. Let go of the need to understand everything. You don't have to figure it all out tonight. You just have to trust that the one who holds the stars also holds your life. And I've never dropped a single one. My beloved, I want to talk to you about the ones who hurt you. The ones who knew your heart and still walked away. The ones who smiled in your face while making plans behind your back. The ones who whispered words of loyalty by daylight and then handed you over to the wolves by nightfall. You have carried that weight for too long. I know you try not to think about it. I know you have told yourself that you have forgiven them, that you have moved on, that it no longer affects you. But deep down, in the quiet spaces you don't often visit, the wound is still tender. The memory of their betrayal still rises up when you least expect it. A song playing, a scent in the air, a moment of silence that suddenly isn't silent because their voice echoes in your mind, saying the very things that broke you. Let me speak to that wound now. I saw everything. Every conversation held in secret, every text message sent behind your back, every decision made about your life without your knowledge, every time they twisted your words, exaggerated your flaws, painted you as the villain so they could feel like the victim. I saw it all. Not one detail escaped me. Not one moment of their scheming was hidden from my eyes. That is the part that has haunted you, isn't it? That is the question that has lingered in the shadows of your heart. God, why did you let them do that to me? Why did you allow them to hurt me when you could have protected me? When you could have exposed them? When you could have shut their mouths before the lies even left their lips? I want you to listen carefully, because this answer will set you free. I did not stop them because I was using them to position you. I did not silence them because their words were exposing something in you that needed to die. Your need for their approval, your dependence on their presence, your false sense of security in something other than me. I allowed them to walk away because they were never meant to walk with you into the next season. I allowed them to turn against you because their betrayal was the very force that pushed you out of a place you were too comfortable to leave on your own. You have felt rejected by them, but I tell you the truth. You were being rescued. There are people in your past who would have destroyed your future if they had stayed. There are people whose presence in your life would have become a chain around your ankles, dragging you down as I tried to lift you up. I saw what you could not see. I knew what you could not know. And in my mercy, I removed them, not with a gentle hand that you might resist, but with a force strong enough to sever the tie completely. Their betrayal was the severing. I know it did not feel merciful at the time. It felt like death. It felt like the ground gave way beneath you, and you were falling into an endless dark. But that falling, my child, it was not into destruction. It was into my arms. It was into a place where no one else could hold you but me. It was into the very purpose I have been preparing for you since before the world began. You stayed quiet when every fiber of your being wanted to scream. You stayed silent when you could have defended yourself, when you could have exposed their lies, when you could have fought back with the very weapons they used against you. You chose not to. You chose to walk away. You chose to trust me with your reputation, your name, your story. Do you know how rare that is? Do you know how precious that is to me? In a world where everyone fights for their own vindication, where everyone posts their side of the story, where everyone demands to be heard and understood and justified, you laid yours down. You placed your reputation in my hands and said without words, God, you be my defense. You did not campaign for yourself. You did not rally people to your side. You did not spend your nights crafting the perfect response that would set the record straight. You wept and you waited. The silence you kept was not weakness. It was the strongest thing you could have done. It was the very thing that released me to work on your behalf. When you stepped back from the battle, you stepped into my victory. When you stopped fighting for yourself, I began fighting for you in ways you cannot yet see. Those people who hurt you, they think they won. They think your silence meant surrender. They think your absence means you are finished, that you faded away because you could not handle the pressure, that they were right about you all along. They celebrate in small circles, convincing themselves that they did what needed to be done, that you were the problem, that your removal was justified. Their thinking does not change what I am doing. Their opinions do not shape your future. Their narratives do not determine your ending. They wrote a story about you, yes. They painted you as less than, as unstable, as someone who could not be trusted. They whispered it to enough people that the lie began to feel like truth. But I am the author of truth, and I am writing a chapter they cannot imagine. There is coming a day, sooner than you think, when what was done in secret will be shouted from the rooftops, not because you exposed them, not because you sought revenge, but because I will bring every hidden thing into the light. I will vindicate you in ways you never could have vindicated yourself. I will restore what they stole, rebuild what they tore down, and raise you up so high that their lies will not be able to reach you. You do not need to prove them wrong. You only need to walk forward into what I have for you. Their lies lose their power the moment you stop living to disprove them. Their rejection loses its sting the moment you stop seeking their approval. They are not your judges. They never were. I am the only judge, and I have already looked at your heart and called you worthy. Worthy of love, worthy of purpose, worthy of trust, worthy of the very dreams they tried to kill. I know you still carry moments when their words echo. I know there are still days when you wonder if they were right, if you really are too much, too sensitive, too broken, too difficult to love. That is the residue of their poison, and I am washing it from you even now. You are not what they said. You are what I say. And I say you are chosen. I say you are enough. I say you are mine. The enemy wanted your pain to embitter you. He wanted the betrayal to make you hard, suspicious, closed off from ever trusting again. He wanted you to build walls so high that no one, not even me, could reach you. But look at you. Here you are, still soft, still trusting, still believing that I am good, even when people are not. That is not your weakness. That is your victory. That is the very thing that makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. You are not destroyed by what they did. You are refined. So tonight, I want you to release them, not for their sake, for yours. Release them from the debt you feel they owe you. Release them from the expectation that they will ever apologize, ever see what they did, ever make it right. Most of them never will, and that is not your burden to carry. Their blindness is between them and me. Your freedom is between you and me. Do not let what they refuse to see keep you bound. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And then, my beloved, lift your head. The season of hidden tears is ending. The season of silent suffering is closing. What they meant for evil, I am turning for good. What they intended to destroy, I am rebuilding stronger than before. You are coming out of this, not bitter, not broken, but beautiful, whole, ready. And the very people who counted you out will one day see you and know, without a word from your lips, that God was with you all along. My child, let me take you deeper now, deeper into the mystery of the waiting, deeper into the purpose of the silence, deeper into why I closed doors that looked like opportunities, why I removed people who felt like safety, why I led you into a wilderness you never asked to enter. You have been asking me, why is it taking so long? But I have been asking you something different. I have been asking you, will you trust me even in the dark? Will you love me even when you cannot feel me? Will you believe that I am good even when your circumstances scream otherwise? This is the question of the wilderness, and your answer to it determines everything. I want to show you something you have not been able to see from where you are standing. From your perspective, this season has felt like punishment. It has felt like abandonment. It has felt like I pulled back my hand and left you to stumble through the dark alone. But from where I sit, from the eternal place where I see the beginning and the end at the same moment, this season has been your protection, your preservation, your preparation. Those doors I closed, they were not rejections. There were doors you wanted me to open that would have led you into disaster. There were opportunities you begged for that would have become traps. There were promotions you prayed for that would have crushed you under their weight. And because I love you too much to give you what you want instead of what you need, I closed them. I closed them gently, and when you kept knocking, I closed them firmly. And when you still would not stop knocking, I closed them with a sound so loud it felt like a slam, because that was the only way you would finally turn around and see that I had something better waiting somewhere else. You thought I was ignoring you. I was actually protecting you. Think back, my beloved. Think back to the things you wanted that you did not get. The relationship you begged me to save. The job you were certain was your destiny. The move you were sure I had ordained. The friendship you could not imagine living without. Where are those things now? Would they still be good for you? Would they still be safe? Would they still be leading you toward the purpose I placed in you before the world began? Most of them would have destroyed you, but you cannot see that from where you stand. You can only see the disappointment. You can only feel the ache of the unmet desire. So I need you to trust me with what you cannot see. I need you to believe that my no is not a rejection of you. It is a redirection for you. It is me saying, not that one, beloved. That one is not worthy of you. That one is not strong enough to carry what I have placed inside you. That one would break under the weight of your destiny. Wait, trust me, I have something better. And then there were the people who left. Oh, my child, I know this wound is still tender. I know you still rehearse the conversations, still wonder what you could have done differently, still carry the guilt of wondering if you were the problem. Let me lift that weight from you once and for all. Some of the people who left were never supposed to stay. They were passengers on your journey, not permanent residents of your heart. They came for a season to teach you something, to show you something, to walk with you through a specific chapter. And when that chapter ended, they had to go. Not because of anything you did wrong, but because their part in your story was complete. You tried to hold on to them. You tried to make them stay past their time. You bent yourself into shapes you were never meant to fit, trying to be enough for people who were never meant to be permanent. And when they finally left, when the tearing came, it felt like death, because you had made them your security. You had made them your identity. You had attached parts of your soul to them that were only ever meant to be attached to me. That is why the tearing had to happen. I love you too much to let you remain dependent on anyone other than me. I love you too much to let you build your house on sand. I love you too much to let you find your worth in human approval, your safety in human presence, your identity in human acceptance. So I allowed the removal. I allowed the silence. I allowed the loneliness, not to punish you, to free you. In the quiet, you are learning to hear me. In the solitude, you are learning to need me. In the absence of human affirmation, you are discovering that my affirmation has been there all along. You just could not hear it over the noise of their voices. Their departure was not a loss. It was a gift. It was me clearing the room so that you could finally see who was standing in it with you all along. I never left. Even in the deepest loneliness, when you felt completely invisible, completely forgotten, completely abandoned, I was there. I was in the room with you. I was in the car with you. I was on the floor with you when you could not get up. I was holding you when no one else would touch you. I was weeping with you when you thought your tears would never stop. You were never alone. You just could not feel me because you were looking for me in the wrong places. You were looking for me to show up the way people show up, with words, with presence, with visible comfort. But I show up differently in the wilderness. I show up as silence that teaches you to listen. I show up as emptiness that teaches you to hunger. I show up as darkness that teaches you to trust without seeing. This is the hidden preparation. There are things growing in you right now that you cannot see. There are roots going deep into the soil of my love, roots that will hold you steady when the storms come. There is strength forming in your spirit, strength that does not come from easy circumstances, but from surviving hard ones. There is wisdom being forged in your soul, wisdom that cannot be taught in comfort, but only learned in fire. You are not the same person you were when this season began. You are stronger, you are deeper, you are more real. The things that used to shake you no longer move you. The opinions that used to define you no longer matter to you. The fears that used to control you no longer have power over you. Not because you fought them, but because you endured them. Because you kept waking up. Because you kept putting one foot in front of the other. Because you kept whispering, "I trust you," even when your heart was screaming, "I don't understand." That is maturity. That is transformation. That is the fruit of the wilderness. And now, my beloved, the wilderness is ending. I know you cannot see the edge of it yet. I know it still feels endless. But I am the God who sees the end from the beginning. And I tell you, the shift is closer than you think. The isolation is almost over. The silence is about to break. The hidden place where I have been building you is about to become the launching pad from which I send you into your destiny. You were not hidden because you were forgotten. You were hidden because you were treasured. I kept you safe in the secret place because the world was not ready for you. And more importantly, you were not ready for the world. But you are getting ready now. You are readying even as you read these words. Something is shifting in your spirit. Something is loosening in your chest. The weight you have been carrying is beginning to lift. Not because your circumstances have changed, but because you have. Because you finally understand that the waiting was not waste. The silence was not abandonment. It was love. It was always love. So stand tall, my child. Straighten your shoulders. Lift your eyes. The hidden season is doing its work. And when it is finished, when you step out of this wilderness and into the wide open spaces I have prepared, you will walk differently. You will walk like someone who has been found, like someone who has been forged, like someone who has been held through the fire and come out pure gold. I am proud of you. Do you hear me? I am proud of you. Not for what you have achieved, not for what you have produced, but for who you have become in the secret place, for the heart you have protected, for the faith you have kept, for the trust you have maintained, even when everything around you told you to let go. You are my beloved, and I am about to show the world what that means. My beloved, something is shifting in the atmosphere around you. Something you cannot see with your eyes, but can sense with your spirit. It is subtle, like the first hint of dawn before the sun breaks the horizon. It is quiet, like the rustle of wind before the storm arrives. But it is here. It is now. It is the beginning of your turn. I have been saying to you throughout this wilderness season that your time was coming, that the delay was not denial, that the silence was not abandonment. But I know that after so long, those words can begin to feel like echoes, beautiful but distant. You have hoped so many times, only to feel hope deferred. You have leaned forward in expectation, only to be met with more waiting. You have trusted me at the edge of breakthrough so many times that you have almost stopped believing breakthrough is real. But this time is different. This time, the shift is not just near, it is here. I am doing something new, my child. Not a renovation of the old, not a repair of what has been broken. Something new. Something that does not look like anything you have experienced before. Something that will leave no question in your mind about whether I am with you, whether I see you, whether I have been working all along. The doors that have been closed for so long, they are beginning to crack open. Not because you finally figured out the right combination. Not because you said the right prayer or performed the right sacrifice, but because I have decided that your season of waiting is complete. I have looked at the work that has been done in the hidden place, and I have declared it enough. You are ready. The preparation is finished, and now the manifestation begins. I know you are afraid to hope. I know you have been hurt by false starts before. I know there have been moments when you thought the breakthrough was here, only to watch it slip through your fingers again. That fear is real, and I do not dismiss it. But I am asking you to lay it down, just for this moment, just long enough to receive what I am saying to you. You are not walking into another disappointment. You are walking into your fulfillment. The very things the enemy used to hold you back are about to become the platform from which you are launched forward. The very people who wrote you off are about to see you rise. The very circumstances that felt like death are about to become the birthplace of your greatest life. I am the God who turns things around. I am the God who reverses the irreversible. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. And I am about to do that for you. Look at your life right now. Look at the areas where you have felt most stuck, most limited, most forgotten. Those are the very areas where I am about to move most powerfully. I do not start with what is already working. I start with what is dead, because only I can bring life from death. I start with what is empty, because only I can fill the void. I start with what is impossible, because only I specialize in the impossible. That thing you have been praying about for years, the dream you almost gave up on, the relationship you thought was beyond repair, the financial situation that has felt like a trap, the health concern that has haunted you, the calling you buried because it hurt too much to carry it unfulfilled. I am breathing on it right now. Can you feel the warmth? Can you feel the stirring? Can you feel something moving in the depths of your spirit? Something that feels almost like life returning to dry bones? That is me. That is my spirit hovering over the chaos of your circumstances, preparing to speak light into your darkness. This is your sudden shift, not a slow, gradual improvement, not a barely noticeable uptick, a shift, a change so clear, so undeniable, that you will know beyond any doubt that I am the one who did it. I am bringing you from the back to the front, from the shadows to the light, from the place of serving to the place of leading, from the position of the overlooked to the position of the sought after. The ones who never noticed you, they will notice. The ones who dismissed you, they will pay attention. The ones who thought you were finished, they will watch you rise, and they will know, without you saying a word, that I am with you. I am restoring your reputation, not through your self-promotion, but through my promotion of you. I am lifting your head in public, not because you fought for attention, but because I am drawing attention to the work of my hands. You have been faithful in small things. You have been faithful in hidden things. You have been faithful when no one was watching, when no one was applauding, when no one even knew your name. And now, I am calling you forward. I am giving you influence in places you never expected to enter. I am opening doors that no human connection could have opened. I am positioning you among people you once only admired from a distance. This is not arrogance. The platform I am giving you is not for your glory. It is for the glory of the one who called you. The influence I am placing in your hands is not for your ego. It is for the purposes I designed you for before you took your first breath. The visibility that is coming is not to make you famous. It is to make my name known through the testimony of your life. You asked me why it took so long. You asked me why you had to wait while others moved ahead. You asked me why your path was so hard, so hidden, so slow. And now you are beginning to see. It took this long because what I am building in you is not small. It is not temporary. It is not for a moment. It is for generations. It took this long because I was not just preparing you for a single opportunity. I was preparing you for a lifetime of walking in your purpose without falling, without burning out, without losing your way. The sudden shift is not the end. It is the beginning of everything I have been speaking over you in the dark. So, do not shrink when the doors open. Do not hide when the spotlight finds you. Do not question whether you belong when you are invited to tables you never expected to sit at. You belong there because I placed you there. You belong there because I prepared you for that very moment. You belong there because the same hand that led you through the wilderness is now leading you into the promised land. Walk through the open doors with confidence. Not confidence in yourself, confidence in me. Confidence in the one who called you, kept you, and is now promoting you. Confidence in the God who never wasted a single tear, a single night, a single moment of your waiting. The shift is here. Can you feel it? It is time to rise, my beloved. Now we arrive at the place you have been longing for, the place you almost stopped believing existed, the place of restoration. I want you to take a moment and just let that word settle over you like a warm covering. Restoration. It means more than just getting back what you lost. It means receiving it back transformed. It means having the years the enemy stole return to you with interest. It means looking at your life and seeing not just repair, but abundance in every place where there was once lack. This is what I am doing for you now. I am not simply giving you back your peace. I am giving you a peace so deep that circumstances will never again steal it from you. I am not simply restoring your joy. I am giving you a joy so strong that it becomes your strength in every battle. I am not simply returning what was taken. I am multiplying it, expanding it, making it greater than it ever was before. You have heard people say that I restore, but you are about to experience it. The relationships that broke you, I am restoring your ability to trust, not naively, but wisely. I am healing the parts of your heart that closed off after the pain. I am teaching you to love again, to open again, to believe again, not because people have proven themselves trustworthy, but because you have proven to yourself that you can survive even if they are not. Your security is no longer in them. Your security is in me. And from that unshakable foundation, you can love freely, fully, without the desperate grip of fear. The dreams that died, I am resurrecting them, not as they were, but as they were always meant to be. The vision I placed in you at the beginning has been growing in the dark, like a seed underground. You thought it was dead because you could not see it, but it was not dead. It was rooting. And now it is about to break through the surface and produce fruit so abundant that you will wonder why you ever worried. The identity that was shattered by other people's words, I am rebuilding it. Stronger, truer, more beautiful than before. You are not who they said you were. You never were. You are who I say you are, and I have been saying it over you from the beginning. Beloved, chosen, enough, worthy, powerful, beautiful, mine. Let that identity sink into the deepest parts of you. Let it replace every lie you have believed. Let it become the truth you carry into every room, every relationship, every challenge. I am restoring your peace, the peace that left you when the chaos came, the peace that was stolen by sleepless nights and anxious days, the peace that felt like a distant memory you could no longer reach. It is returning to you now, not as a fragile visitor, but as a permanent resident. It will live in you. It will flow from you. It will be the thing people notice first when they encounter you. A quiet confidence, a deep calm, an unshakable stillness that does not make sense given what you have been through. That peace is my presence in you, and it is never leaving again. I am restoring your voice, the voice that went silent when you were told you had nothing worth saying, the voice that was mocked, dismissed, ignored, the voice that you buried because it hurt too much to speak and not be heard. That voice is coming back, and when it returns, it will carry weight. It will carry authority. It will carry the very wisdom you gained in the silence. You will speak, and people will listen, not because you are loud, but because you are true. Because your words come from a place of depth that only suffering can carve out. I am restoring your purpose, the sense that you are put on this earth for a reason, the knowing that your life matters, that your presence makes a difference, that you are not an accident or an afterthought. That purpose has never left you. It has just been waiting for you to be ready to carry it. And now you are. Now you are strong enough. Now you are grounded enough. Now you are humble enough and brave enough to walk in the very thing I created you for. And here is the most beautiful part, my child. Your restoration will not end with you. The blessings I am pouring into you will overflow to everyone around you. Your healing will become a well that others drink from. Your freedom will become a door that others walk through. Your story will become a light that guides others out of their own darkness. This is not just about you. It never was. It is about everyone I will reach through you. It is about the generations that will be shaped by the person you are becoming. It is about the legacy of faith, resilience, and trust that you are building with every step of this journey. You asked me why you had to go through so much. You asked me why the path was so hard. And now you are beginning to see it was never just for you. It was for the ones who will come after you, who will look at your life and say, if God did that for them, He can do it for me. It was for the ones who will need your empathy, your wisdom, your testimony. It was for the ones who will be saved, healed, and delivered because you refused to give up. You are not just surviving. You are becoming a source. The abundance I am bringing into your life is not just for your comfort. It is for your capacity to give. The peace I am restoring is not just for your well-being. It is for you to carry into rooms full of chaos. The joy I am returning to you is not just for your happiness. It is for you to radiate into lives that have forgotten how to smile. You are becoming a reservoir of my presence, and from you, living water will flow to a world that is dying of thirst. Can you see it now? Can you see why the waiting was worth it? Can you see why I held you in the wilderness? Why I kept you in the hidden place? Why I allowed the silence and the struggle and the stretching? It was not to break you. It was to expand you. It was to make you large enough to hold all that I am about to pour into you and through you. You are ready now, ready to receive, ready to give, ready to walk in the fullness of who I created you to be. So open your hands, open your heart, open every part of you that closed off during the hard years. The restoration is here. It is flowing. It is filling every empty place, healing every wound, mending every broken piece. You are not who you were. You are who I always saw. And now the world is about to see it too. My child, here we are, at the end of this message, but at the beginning of everything else. I have walked you through the pain, through the betrayal, through the waiting, through the shift, through the restoration. I have held your hand in every word, whispered over every wound, spoken light into every shadow. And now I leave you with this one final truth, the truth that must carry you from this moment forward into all the days I have prepared for you. I am with you, always, and nothing will ever change that. You have heard those words before. Perhaps you have even said them to yourself in moments of desperation, trying to conjure comfort from a phrase that felt empty because your circumstances screamed otherwise. But I need you to hear them now, not as a phrase, not as a religious cliche, but as the most literal, tangible, unbreakable reality of your existence. I am with you, not watching from a distance, not observing your struggles with detached interest, not occasionally checking in to see how you are doing. With you, present, aware, involved, close enough to feel every heartbeat, to catch every tear, to hear every whispered prayer before it even forms in your mind. There is nowhere you can go that I am not already there. There is nothing you can face that I have not already prepared a way through. There is no height so high, no depth so low, no darkness so complete that it can separate you from my presence. I am in the room with you right now, speaking these words directly to your spirit, imprinting them on the very fabric of your soul. You are never alone. I know that has been your deepest fear, the fear that lurks beneath all the others, the fear that if people really knew you, they would leave, the fear that if circumstances really crushed you, I would not show up, the fear that at the end of everything, you would find yourself completely, utterly alone. I am dismantling that fear forever, not with a promise, but with a presence, my presence. The presence that has been with you from your first breath and will be with you until your last, and beyond. You are mine, and I do not abandon what is mine. Look back for a moment. Look back over the journey we have walked together in these words. Do you see it? Do you see how every closed door was a protection? How every betrayal was a positioning? How every silent night was a preparation? How every tear was collected and every prayer was heard? I was there, in all of it, working, weaving, moving. Even when you could not feel me, I was there. And I will be there in everything that is coming. The days ahead are bright, my child, brighter than you can imagine. Not because they will be free of challenges, they will not be, but because you will face those challenges from a new place, a place of strength, a place of knowing, a place of unshakable trust in the one who has never failed you, even when it felt like everything was falling apart. You will walk into rooms with a confidence that does not come from you. You will speak words with an authority that does not come from your resume. You will make decisions with a peace that does not depend on perfect information. You will love people with a freedom that does not require them to love you back. You will live from a place so deep, so rooted, so secure, that the storms of life will only make you stronger. This is the destiny I have prepared for you. Not a destiny of comfort, but of significance. Not a destiny of ease, but of impact. Not a destiny of worldly success, but of eternal weight. You were made for more than just getting by. You were made for more than just surviving. You were made to thrive, to flourish, to bear fruit that remains. The shift we spoke of is not a distant event. It is not a future hope. It is a present reality. It is happening in you as you read these words. Old things are passing away. Behold, new things are coming. The confusion is lifting. The heaviness is dissolving. The chains are breaking. The prison doors are swinging open. Walk out. Walk out of the season of waiting. Walk out of the identity of the overlooked. Walk out of the mindset of the survivor. Walk into the wide open spaces of your destiny. Walk into the fullness of who I created you to be. Walk into the freedom of knowing that you are loved, you are chosen, you are enough, not because of anything you have done, but because of whose you are. And because you are mine, you carry my authority. You carry my peace. You carry my power. You carry my presence everywhere you go. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. The same voice that spoke the universe into existence speaks through you. The same hands that healed the broken reach through you. Do you understand what I'm giving you? Not just a message, not just comfort, not just reassurance. I am giving you yourself, the self I always saw, the self the wilderness shaped, the self the waiting prepared, the self the restoration is revealing. You are finally becoming who you always were, and it is beautiful. So go now, my beloved. Go in peace. Go in power. Go in the unshakable knowledge that you are held, you are seen, you are loved beyond measure. The questions that once haunted you will fade into the background of a life so full, so rich, so abundant, that you will barely remember the ache of asking them. The tears are over. The waiting is done. The shift is here. The restoration is flowing. And I, the God who spoke to you in the silence, who held you in the darkness, who fought for you when you could not fight for yourself, I am walking with you into every tomorrow. Nothing will separate you from my love. Nothing will steal what I have given you. Nothing will stop the destiny I have placed in your hands. You are mine, forever, and forever has just begun. Go in peace, my beloved. You are ready. You are loved. You are free.